Good morning, students. Today we are here again for an English language lesson, class JS1, topic vocabulary development on word family. The topic is on the football field. Instructional objectives. By the end of the lesson, students should be able to 1. List at least 6 more words associated with football. 2. Say the meaning of some given word associated with football. 3. Fill the gap using the options provided in the reading passage. The instructional materials to be used are the New Concept English for JSS 1 and then the Oxford Advanced Learners Dictionary. Now, let us know what football is all about. Football is basically a game where teams of 11 players play a ball to determine which team scores the most goals. The game is played on a rectangular pitch or field, and none of the players can use their hands to touch the ball except for one goalkeeper in each team. A game of football lasts 90 minutes. This is divided into 2 halves of 45 minutes each. There is a 15-minute break between the first half and the second half. So we have seen that 11 players are involved in the football, and the football determines on who scores most goals. It's also played in a rectangular pitch, and no player is expected to use his or her hands except one goalkeeper that is in each team. And we also know that the game of football lasts for 90 minutes. And this 90 minutes is divided into 2 halves of 45 minutes each. And we have 15 minutes break. That is between the first half and the second half. Other words associated with football are people in the field. That's words that are associated with people in the field. 1. Team. A football team consists of 11 players on the field at the same time. 2 teams play against each other. 2. Goalkeeper. There is only one goalkeeper in the field for each team. Their main role is to defend the goal and stop the other team from scoring goals. They can use their hands while they are in the goal area. 3. Defender. These players play near their goalkeeper to help defend their goal. As the defenders, they will be around their goalkeeper to defend their goal. 4. Forward. An attacking player in a team, that's the person that is playing forward. When a forward has the main role of scoring goals, he or she can be called a striker. So you can see that the forward is also called a striker when he has the main role of scoring goals. 5. Midfielder. A player who plays between the forwards and defenders is called a midfielder. They sometimes help defend, sometimes they help attack, though they spend most of the time in the middle of the pitch, that's the field as well. Then 6. Substitute. This is a player that does not start on the field with the other players. They sit on the bench until it is time to replace a player on the field that is tired or not performing well. Sometimes are used as part of a change in tactics. So you have substitutes which don't play immediately on the field, but they sit on the bench until it is time for them to replace a player on the field that is not performing well. But sometimes they use it as a tactic, just to be saving strength and time too. Then 7, manager. The person in charge of a football team is called a manager. They are responsible for selecting the team of players for a match and the tactics they should use on the pitch. So the manager is in control of the whole team. Now, the second word associated with people that are responsible for running the game of football. 1, we have the referee. The person responsible for making sure all players follow the rules is called the referee. The referee uses a whistle to get the attention of the players and to signify a change in the flow of the game, such as a foul or the end of the half or of the match. Is that the end of the half or the end of the match? So that's the work of a referee, and he must use the whistle to recognize this. Then 2, linesman. A person who helps the referee is called a linesman. There are 2 linesmen, one on each side of the pitch. The general job of a linesman is to let the referee know when the ball has gone out, has crossed the sideline or goal line. When a playing is offside, or if a player commits an offense, it is the linesman that indicates it. There are flags. Okay, they are a flag to indicate the situation to the referee. So each linesman has a flag, and it uses this flag to notify the referee. Another word for linesman is referee's assistant. Then the third one is part of the football field. Remember, we are still on words associated with football. Number 3, parts of the football field. The playing surface for football with X marking to show the area of play is called a football field or a football pitch. It consists of the following. 1, bench. The area where substitute players sit and wait to be asked to enter the field or enter in the game is called a bench. It's called the bench. 2, center circle. This is the circle that is 10 yards, that is 9.15 meters from the center mark of the pitch. When a team kick off at the start of a half or after a goal, players from the opposing team cannot be inside that circle until the ball has been played. Then 3, center point. This is the mark in the center middle, in the exact middle of the center circle where kickoff takes place. 4, corner. One of the 4 corners of the pitch is called corner. A corner flag is placed there, and it is where corner kicks are taken. 5. Crossbar. The horizontal bar of the goal is called a crossbar. It must be 8 feet, that is 2.44 meters, above the ground. Then 6. Goal. The goal consists of two vertical goal posts and a horizontal crossbar. There is normally a net attached to these to help confirm whether the ball has entered between the posts or not. 7. Goal line. The two short boundary lines at opposite ends of the pitch is called the goal line. The goal line posts are placed on the goal line. Number 8. Goal post. A goal consists of two vertical posts that are 8 yards, that is 7.32 meters apart. 9. Halfway. The marked line that goes across the pitch exactly halfway between the two goal lines is called the halfway. 10. Net. Nets are attached to the goal post and crossbar and are placed behind the goal to make it easier to know when the ball enters the goal. That is the net. Then 11. Penalty area. This is also known as the penalty box. This is marked area near each goal in which the goalkeeper can use his hands to touch the ball. If a foul happens inside the penalty box, it becomes a penalty instead of a free kick. 12. Penalty spot, also known as penalty mark. A white mark in the penalty box from which penalties are taken is known as penalty spot. This spot or mark is 12 yards, that is 11 meters from the goal line. 13. The touch line. The touch lines are the marked lines going along the longest part of the pitch. A ball must completely cross the touch lines to be out play. If any part of the ball is still on or above the touch lines, the ball is still in play. When a ball is completely out of play, a throw-in is given to the opposite team of the last person who touched the ball. Again, is the verbs used in football. You know, we have peculiar verbs that we use in footballing. These verbs are: 1. To concede. To concede a goal means when a team receives a goal against them. When a team receives a goal against them. 2. To cross means to pass the ball from one side of the pitch to the opposite side or into the goal area. 3. To dribble, to move the ball along with your feet as you go up the field. 4. To head, to use your head to make the ball go in a certain direction. 5. To kick, to strike the ball with your foot. 6. To mark, to guard an opposing player to try and stop them receiving the ball from their teammates or to make it difficult for that player to use the ball anyhow he wants or anyhow they want. 7. To pass. When a player kicks, or heads the ball to another of the same team, it means he has passed it to the other. Then 8, to substitute, that's to sub. To replace one player on the field with another player that was on the bench. Then number 9, to score. I usually score a goal, to get a goal. So we can see all these vocabularies that are used, the words that are associated with football. Now, let us look at some questions to test our understanding of the lesson. The first one is that you should use the dictionary. Please remember, we're making use of dictionary. Use the dictionary to find the meanings of the following words associated with football. Your answer must be in relation to sports or football. So look for the definition that has in soccer or in sports. It must be associated to sports or football. Number 1, clearance. Number 2, dive. Number 3, foul. Number 4, penalty. Number 5, equalizer. Number 6, shot. Number 7, offside. Number 8, own goal. Then the second question, read out the following passage, choosing the best word from the box below to fill in the blanks. These are the words in the box. They are go, dribble, tackle, referee, whistle, throw in, pass, sport, match. Now we have the questions. I remember vividly the dash between Nigeria and Angola at the National Stadium in Abuja. The dash that sent Nigeria into the finals of the African Nations Cup was scored by Kano in the dying minutes of the game. A pass was made by Taiwo to Otaka from Nigeria's penalty area. Otaka dashed past an Angolan player who tried to dash him. He passed the ball to Martins, but an Angolan defender blocked it, resulting in a dash. The throw was done as usual by Taiwo to Ozazi, who has to dash the ball to Kano. Kano was already near the penalty dash of the Angolan, shot the ball straight with a powerful left into the far corner of the net from a memorable goal. The dash blew the dash, and that was the end of the match. Okay, now let us see the model answers. Remember, the first one, we have used the dictionary to find the meaning of the following words associated with football, and you have to associate it to sports and football. Number 1 is clearance, and the model answer we have for clearance is a defensive kick that is intended to remove the ball out of danger from the goal area. That is clearance, a defensive kick that is intended to remove the ball out of the danger from the goal kick. Then the second one is dive. If you remember, the ones we are looking for there, Okay, let's get it. Dive, the ones we are looking for their meaning with the dictionary. Dive. Dive means when a player deliberately falls over when tackled, mostly when they aren't even touched. Some unscrupulous players do this act in order to get a free kick or a penalty. So you can see the meaning. The third one is foul. Foul is an action that is not permitted in the game as it is against the rules. A foul gives the other team a free kick. The next one is penalty. Penalty is a free kick from the penalty spot. This kick is made by one player against the goalkeeper of the opposite team. Then the next one, if you remember, is equalizer. Equalizer is a game that is called that brings the game to where both teams now have the same number of goals. Number 6 is shot. Shot, this is when the ball kicked or headed in the direction of the opponent's goal in an attempt to score a goal. 7, offside. Offside is when a player receives a pass and they are closer to their opponent's goal than one of the opposite team's players, excluding the goalkeeper. Then we have the own goal. The own goal is when a player accidentally helps the ball go into own goal. So when a player scores ex-member, that is called the own goal. Then we go to the second evaluation, which says you should use the words in the box. These are the words in the box to fill in the gap in this passage. Now we are going to be taking it one by one. I remember vividly the what? The match. Remember? Between Nigeria and Angola at the National Stadium in Abuja. The what? The goal that sent Nigeria into the finals of the African Nations Cup was scored by Kano in the dying minutes of the game. A pass was made by Taiwo to Otaka from Nigerian penalty box, Nigerian penalty area. Otaka dribbled, I hope you're following, dribbled Angolan player who tried to tackle, I hope you're following, who tried to tackle him. He passed the ball to Martins, but an Angolan defender blocked it, resulting in a what? A throw-in. A throw-in. The throw was done, as usual, by Taiwo to Ozazi, who has to do what? Who has to pass? Who has to pass the ball to Kano? Kano was already near the penalty what? Penalty spot of the Angolans. Shot the ball straight with a powerful left into the far corner of the net for a memorable goal. The referee blew the dash. Blew the what? blew the whistle. And that was the end of the match. So these are the model answers to these questions. Now, having tested you on this and I've seen your capability, I think I should give you a take-home assignment. And these assignments are, number 1, list 6 words that are related to football game. List 6 words that are related to football game. Whether it has to do with people, with the field, with the verb or whatever. Just list 6 words that are related to football game. Number 2, give the meaning of the following words. 1, penalty. 2, own goal. 3, pass. I believe you can do that. And we have to look at them in our next lesson before we begin a new lesson. And that brings us to the end of the lesson. I wish you good luck.